Welcome to a world of unforgettable experiences and immersive marketing. Transform your events into extraordinary moments that captivate your audience. Whether it's corporate gatherings, product launches, or community celebrations, our immersive marketing solutions elevate your events to new heights. Immerse your attendees in a world of audiobooks and podcasts tailored to your brand. Engage their senses and leave a lasting impression. Explore the power of storytelling with our curated podcast content. From insightful discussions to entertaining narratives, we've got the perfect audio experience for your event. Ready to make your next event unforgettable? Scan the QR code now and book a complimentary immersive marketing call with our experts. Let's create memories together. Elevate your events with immersive marketing. Scan the code and let the magic begin.
All right. Welcome back to a super special edition of the Pain Point Podcast. We got some amazing guests here today. Let's get some housekeeping out of the way. Absolutely. You want to immersive market. That's the way to do it. Get on a podcast, host a summit. It is a great way to market to yourself. It's a lot more funner, I would say, than just sending out a commercial because you are everything. You get to stand out and shine. People get to know you. People get to see you. They get to learn more about you. And you know what? You get to talk to the camera. You get to be the one to stand out and shine. You get to the one that pulls on people's heartstrings. They want to relate, and that's what we're here to talk about today is absolutely getting seen, getting heard, and showing up and shouting out. So I've got some amazing guests that I want to bring up here today. And hey guys, I'll put some information in the chat because we've got two amazing summits coming up. Tomorrow is Devastated to Divine Alignment. And you know what? It's really about getting past that post-traumatic growth, really getting out there and healing. We're not just healing ourselves, we're healing the world, not just one person, but we're healing millions. There's going to be some great takeaways, and each speaker is going to share a phenomenal takeaway, something that you can experience in the moment, some form of vibrational change, maybe some mindset shift. But this is all about post-traumatic growth. What happens next after we've been the victim? What happens next after we've been the survivor? And you see it every day, and you see these crazy, crazy videos out there, and you look at that and go, what is the solution that I can bring? It pulls out my heartstrings, and I know that many of you, and especially the panel here, want to provide a solution, and this is how we do it. We do this with community. We do this by connecting with our tribe and also expanding our thought and becoming and changing the emotional intelligence, which lifts our vibrations so we can have fun, we can laugh again, we can bring back some humor in the community, and we're going to do that by tomorrow, 12 o'clock Eastern. Come join Devastated to Divine Alignment. We also have CEO Hacker coming up now, but I'm going to bring up the guest, and I want to bring up, and I'm going to have each of you introduce yourself and a little bit about you and what you do. So you share that with the audience so they can get to know a little bit more about you and what they're going to hear, especially on that speaker panel. So Samantha, why don't you go ahead and share a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thanks for having me here for one. So I am an integrative health practitioner and a somatic embodiment coach. I also am the CEO and founder of Sacred Owl Solutions and myhealth365.com, which is my new baby. I'm so excited about that. But I just help entrepreneurs or those high achieving individuals to really how to create that flow and that impact and that income again in their life and their business without sacrificing their mental health or their quality time in life. So it's like how to create that life or that business fully integrated with those passions again, and just helping them move through that. So working with me, whether one-on-one or inside my wellness community in that my Health 365. So it's kind of a little tidbit of what I do.
I love that. All right, Delana, come and introduce yourself to everybody and tell them a little bit about what you do and maybe something that they'll get when they hear you talking and get to know you.
I am wellness corporate specialist. I specialize in sleep and also in midwife, hormone balance, and also I'm working with energy to reset your nervous system, to manage the stress and cortisol level so that you manage other hormones in natural way without medication and second guessing. I also you know that you need sometimes your emotions and your trauma that is trauma related can be stuck in your body. If you're not release them, you can get sick, you can have a lot of disease, a lot of disbalances. So the thing is that whatever you're going through trauma or some unpleasant events in your life, to acknowledge it and to release that what it's stored in your body so that you can go further, yeah, actually continue your life with more happy, joyful, and achieve what you want to achieve in a healthy way. So I'm working with nervous system regulation, hormone balancing, and mindset shift also if you was a victim of some sort of trauma.
Absolutely awesome. Good stuff to heal the world. All right, Mr. Dr. Jeffrey here.
Mm.
Why don't you come up and introduce yourself? You're not going to be at Devastated to Divine Alignment. You're not speaking there, but you are speaking at CEO Hacker. So share with us
Right.
because it's going to be the same. We're going to have a speaker panel there as well. And you're
Exactly.
going to give some great tidbits on what you do and how people can absolutely level up their business.
Thanks, Nicole. It's really great to be here with these esteemed ladies and looking forward to, I know some of you and I've been just introduced, but I am Dr. Jeffrey E. Berger. I am the CEO and founder of Abundance and Optimum Wellness. And I believe that we all should be living a life of abundance and optimum wellness, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And today I'm taking a finance first approach to encompassing overall well-being by circumventing the system. And as a certified coach, I am really focusing on that future of true wealth, a digital revolution, where true wealth is not just about money. It's about being able to be presented and introduced to tools and resources that will allow individuals to create a lifestyle to live an abundance and optimum wellness physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Why is that? Because we are in a major, major paradigm shift today in the way things are being done, whether it's finances, whether it's medicine, whether it's technology. Things are changing and they're changing at a rapid pace. And I'm really here to share some vision that I've learned since 2018, which is when my real journey started after leaving corporate America from total burnout as an ex-software engineer. So I hope people will be able to join the event this coming weekend with those panelists and with the CEO Hacker next week. I'm very excited to be a part of that panel as well. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. All right, Colleen, come give some of your magic on the spice that you share with life.
Thank you for having me, Nicole. It's always a pleasure to work with you. I'm Colleen Stubbs, and I'm the founder of Simplified CEO Systems. And coming into this summit, um, I am going to be helping entrepreneurs find purpose after trauma, after all the things life hands us, right? We're going to be able to find purpose and simplify that um, back office so that when you find purpose by building an online business, you're able to actually just show up and shine and share what you're passionate about. I think so many people, so many women stop and don't take that leap of building a business and finding purpose through business building because they're afraid of the back office. They're afraid of the tech. They don't even honestly want to mess with it. And so what I do is I go in and I set that up for them. And so I really just want to share with the listeners and the watchers that there is so much good in life that we can find after trauma. And maybe we need a new purpose. Maybe we need a new way to provide. Maybe we want to do that from home, and you can do that. All you need really is something that you're truly passionate about and the commitment. And then there are tools and resources that pull the rest of it together for you.
Absolutely. And business and where does this align? Well, if you have a business of your choice and you're leveling up your career, you're leveling up your entrepreneurship, and you're leveling up your finances, it gives you the ability to support not only yourself and your family, but to choose who you want to support in life. And there are many, many people who are silent contributors. I know that I saw that in the casino. There were several different offshoots of either nonprofits or just society or people, personal people that worked in the casino that people think that, hey, it's Mr. Adelson before he passed from the Venetian and he's going to get buried with his gold bars. What did he do? He contributed to his community. He contributed to his church, and he also contributed to his employees by what he gave in bonuses. And he also gave privately to individual people. There were people that he would feed or employ that needed a job, and this way he is changing the community and he's supporting and rewarding people that way. And this is what we can do with our business. And if you are a victim and now, because these events do support confronting domestic violence, we want to move people into safe places, move them from point A to point B. But what happens next? What is that next step? If you have a home, you're never free unless you're financially free. That's for all of us. We get to choose where we travel. We get to choose what we wear. We get to choose where we shop. We also get to choose who we work with and who we give fantastic, phenomenal customer service to. And everybody here is for that. Not only giving back to the community, but giving back to each other and serving one another, but also servicing our clients the best way. You service your clients when you network, you service them when you're on stage, the great giveaways, and you'll see that at these events. It is free to join these events. It is, we do want you to upgrade because that does support confronting domestic violence. And you get the videos, you get all the free stuff, you get all the VIP packages, but more so, you also get to support a great community. And just one thing, I know this is kind of weird, but the screen keeps changing. Am I losing you guys? Are we okay?
No, I just spotlighted you. Took me out.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thanks. Yeah, that was fine. I didn't want to do that. I didn't do that on purpose. So because my screen kept changing. I'm like, what is going on? This is weird. All right. So it's good to do that. And where we're out there and we're supporting one another and we support people. And this is what you could do when you have a mic. This is what you do when you choose to get over that moment of, oh, is it my hair? Is it my makeup? Everything's going to fail. Hey, just know it's not if it will happen, it's when it happens and that it will happen. It happens all the time. This morning I was trying to get on go live, nothing was showing up. I couldn't share my screen. And hey, that's why you have the commercial in the beginning. Here's a tip, you guys, a tip and trick of the industry. That's why you have that timer countdown that gives you the ability to mess with the tech, check the tech, and it also alerts everybody in the world and pushes the algorithm out that is getting ready to go live. So there's two solutions you just got today. You wouldn't have gotten that unless you were hearing this or having this conversation. This is what you get to learn when you decide to choose to go on a podcast to support a panel of people and your guests and show up and shine and be a good guest. But let's go, Samantha. When you're coming in here, I know we just talked and you're going to be on the panel and there's some great information that you're sharing. And I'm so glad that you chose to be here. We had a little bit of a conversation, but we haven't had a long conversation. That's one wonderful thing about sharing a panel and having a stage is I get to know the speakers a little bit more and what they're doing. So what kind of things are you looking at? let's start here. What are you giving away and what drew you to this event? Because there's something that you do is, you have something that's magical. You have something that you can share with the world, and it's a wonderful moment, and you're absolutely here to change people and be part of the transformation that people that choose to come in here and do that. And you're talking about what burnout tried to take from you and what you took back. There's a magic in that transformation. What can people expect when they come to listen to you on the panel and your talk?
Oh gosh. What drew me to this particular event and this summit is I've been there before. I've been in that devastating moment of, is everything going to be okay? Is everything going to work out? And not being able to, being so stuck in that mindset, that nervous system point in life, that it's hard to see the future. It's hard to get out of that motion of fear or devastation and into more of that forward momentum in life, and looking at, well, what is the next goal? What is the dream? What is the final part that I want to be in? And so I loved when I saw this event, and I immediately was like, hey, let's get applied for this, because I think there is so much to be said in people who have been through it before. And one of the things that I'll be talking about is kind of not only my story and what I went through, a little bit of that, but also a little bit about how we can shift that self-sabotaging pattern, those thoughts, or that self-limitation. How can we see, not just move beyond it, but see where that's coming from? Go into the root of where that comes from and heal that from there. Because we can talk about it all we want. We can have all of the affirmations and the what are those vision boards that we want, but until we can actually get to the root of what it is and shift that thought process, that's when the real change can happen. So I'm excited to share that with you all in this summit and even on this podcast today. So yeah.
That's awesome that you can share part of that and that transformation. And that's the magic of the moment when people come to an event. It is an interactive event. You get to ask the speaker questions. We have a large panel and we have lots of speakers. But if you come early and you put your information in the chat, we'll give you a chance to come on mic and say hello. I want you to connect with these speakers. And also there's Q&A during speaker time. And some of the speakers have the live session where they expect engagement. They expect you to be involved, because it's that taking action in the moment. And success loves when you take action. Success loves speed. Just doing it. Don't think about it. Don't wait till it happens. Let it happen now, and this is the time. So Delana, I'm going to ask you the same question. I mean, it's so important what you do, as a doula. When people are birthing, it's a moment of that there's this newness, and you get this new chance in life that you're sharing, and it can be a traumatic moment. But how are you with your talk here, a midlife awakening from chaos to confidence, helping women and their families come into confidence?
I, of course, went through myself through burnout, and I went also through kind of domestic violence, but it was a traumatic experience that I will share in my talk also. In what I learned from that, how to come back again and just heal myself with this traumatic experience. I will share also, I will reframe the burnout, what that's mean, how I experiencing the burnout. My work, it's deeply personal because it's I live through what I gonna share. I didn't burn out because of I was kind of unmotivated or But I burned out because I was operating constantly in survival mode. There was a financial stress, also emotional pressure, overworking, and also the combination of accident and relationship broken, and facing the homelessness almost. I really went through a lot of traumatic experience, so I learned how nervous system is important and how to regulate stress with breath work and different other techniques that can help women and men also in midwife if they're going through some traumatic experience or some um, burnout or stress related issue, how they can regulate the nervous system with sample techniques, with breath work and other tools that I use. Also, how vagus nerve is important in the body and how you can work also with that to help yourself to stabilize and balance your nervous system.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you're there for that. It's important that it's family, it's connection. You're building your tribe, you're building your community, one little person at a time, and it's a magical moment. And if people can come into the world healthy, there's less trauma in your life, right? Where there's a lot of that coaching and healing where, there was maybe some trauma at birth, or there's maybe trauma by 7 years old, right? Did that imprint your life? And how do you get ahead of that? And I'm so glad that you're here to share that success with us on the stage. And this is what it gets me to is with you, Jeff, is coming in here because that trauma can lead to financial burdens and something that you need to heal, health, wealth, wisdom, and the full gamut at a soul-led leadership for you to share the stage and say, hey, I want to talk about finances. I want to talk about you elevating your life and leveling up everywhere. Where did that start for you?
Yeah, great question, Nicole. And we've talked about burnout, and I did mention in my intro that I left corporate America from burnout, total burnout, hostile work environments, and just a very, very stressful situation. And really trying to get out and explore and find my true meaning and what I really wanted to do, because I wanted to make a difference and have an impact when I left this world. So it's been a transformational journey since then. And I do proclaim that I am a survivor of, childhood molestation, chemical dependency, a survivor of 2 attempted suicides. So that's impacted me in many, many ways, but I've gotten through this, and it's about getting through the challenges and becoming the CEO. Becoming a CEO, many people are leaving corporate America. They're taking ownership of their own lives, and I'm actually in the CEO Hacker Summit, which is next week, and I'm going to be sharing really different things than I have been in the past year. And I'm focusing on the education and the experiences that I've had through different coaches that I've been working with, because during my corporate years, and I grew up with this, that men don't need help. They can do it by themselves. But the truth, the reality is men do cry, men do have feelings, and men do need help. So when you take that and take ownership of it, you start developing a different mindset and building strength from that and a foundation. So, my whole idea on next week is to really share some of those strategies that I had to break through, and I'm still breaking through some of them, but I want to share those as well. What does it take to become a CEO? What does it take to become a leader in the industry that you're working in? I was a certified holistic health coach. I talk about the microbiome. I was coaching students for 4 years on the microbiome, which is the gut, brain, heart axis health. And today I'm taking a finance first approach. Why? Because every single one of my students complained about finances. So, and I was in the same boat, because I proclaimed that during my journey, between 9/11 and 2008, I lost over 900,000 in my portfolio. And then 2020, 2021, my 401ks were turning into 101ks and one flatline. So those are pivotal changes. And what do you do during those times of devastation, stress, when you're losing that money, and how are you going to replace it? So these are some of the strategies and points that I'm bringing to light through my journey for next week, and the goal is hopefully that it will be helpful for those individuals who are struggling to be their own CEO, because those of us who left corporate America were just puppets. And we were told what to do and how to do it. We weren't told, we weren't really taught to be our own boss, if you will. And many do struggle through that. I did for a number of years, and I've gone beyond that point. Now I'm embracing everything that it has to do with my own personal development for myself and for the people that I'm sharing this journey with, to get educated and become comfortable in their own shoes because of the paradigm shift. There's new things that we must learn. Think about before we had computers. What did you do? Well, now we've got computers and they're controlling the world. So those are just some of the shifts that I mentioned from time to time.
Yeah, thank you for that. Your spiritual wealth and your financial wealth go side by side, and we are meant. And so many people talk about your abundance and
Right,
manifesting, but then we
right.
thwart it, and we're like, "Oh, stop! We
Yeah.
can't have money." But woke doesn't
Yes.
need to mean broke. It really doesn't.
Right.
Billy Carson says it wonderfully. You don't have to be broke, because if you're broke, you can't contribute to the things that you love. If you want to support people and you want to get some health package from your favorite vitamin person, then how do you pay for that package if you don't have the money? And you're supporting
Exactly.
them and what they do. You're supporting your health, and that brain gut health, and it has to do everything with the like in heart math, right? I think
Right.
it's a heart math, a modality where people are talking about that support. Your brain isn't healthy because you're not moving, you're not exercising, you're not getting sunlight. If you are just concentrating on your business, you need to put some time out there on your calendar, make it happen. Absolutely. You could just
Exactly.
drop the calls. If you take a walk, it's a moving meditation. So you're doing two things. You go out in the sunlight. Now it's three things. So look at all the things you could check off your box for
Right.
10 minutes, 20 minutes a day. And then you can have that great financial health as well. The other thing is you're moving into the digital age, and people that hear me or talk to me know that I'm a huge entrepreneur. The tech revolution is here. It's finally caught up with us.
Hmm.
Growing up in Silicon
Yeah.
Valley, it's about time. But with the advent of tech, without letting it try to take over the world, use it for good. Use it for the purpose
Right.
that it's made. Make a decision to do that. You have that willpower now. You have that ability to take control of your life, and then it gives you more time to have more freedom to do what you want. And the tech lets us travel, and you can travel and do podcasts and do your business from place to place, and that's
Exactly.
a wonderful thing. And thank you
Yeah. And
for doing that. Yeah.
if I could add one more thing, Nicole, to this, is that, over the years, I've, when talking with people, uh, what they did is compartmentized things. And what I have found is it's about being able to create an integration of physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and financial, because they all work synergistically together. And when I started to do that more and more, it was just a really dramatic change in how I approach things and did things. So thanks for letting me share that.
Yeah, of course. It's so important. When you have that money, you can travel, you can see the world, we can have a better connection. And that's what this is all about. If you do a summit, if you're on a podcast now, you have all these clips that you can do. You have a speaker reels, and then you can go on that vacation. You can go save a rainforest. It's just this wonderful thing you can contribute. There's many contributions, and there's this gentleman, I can't even remember his name. I just watched him on Lex Friedman, and he is saving thousands and thousands of acres in the forest. He gets to go live there. He just met a tribe that nobody saw, nobody knew. It's like a discovery of this new tribe. They've never got that
Nice.
on video. Now they have these people, but there's people in tech, there's people with a lot of money that get to go out there and support this. You can't support it if you don't have the money. Otherwise, you're knocking on doors and asking, "Hey,
Right.
give me
Right.
a buck." You get nothing out of it. But you can go travel and meet him, and Colleen is that's it. For you too. What I love about this is what you're giving back, and you're sharing with people how they can set themselves absolutely up for success. And your talk is about the view from within. It's so important in success.
It is. And you know how blessed am I to sit on the stage with these entrepreneurs? Everything that I'm hearing is just getting me excited to be at the summit. I think that this summit is going to be filled with resources that people need for dealing with just life. Because honestly, there's so much trauma, whether it's burnout or domestic violence or even just losing your purpose, right? And so when I go into this, I want to share parts of my story that I've never shared before publicly. And not that they're just private, right? They've just been private, but they're huge stepping stones. And I know that in the things I'm going to share, I'm not alone in experiencing those things as a midlife woman. There are a lot of midlife entrepreneurs and women who have felt the very things that I felt and gone through those things. And it takes really pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and some perseverance to get through those. And so when we have the tools in place to make the change is easier to be made, right? But we have to come to the summits. We have to listen and gather all the resources. All of the speakers, I think, are bringing a resource to share. And I'm excited to get those because just being able to have those in your toolbox, even if your life has seemed pretty merry cherry and maybe you haven't had anything traumatic yet, it may come. And how much better off would you be with these tools in your toolbox, knowing how to handle life? You know, everything from mindset and breath work to being able to regulate your nervous system and have the financial freedom to move forward or to take a break when you need to. That is huge, you know. And so, for so many people that are going through trauma, have gone through trauma, especially domestic violence victims, they need to be able to stay in their home, stay in their family, be with loved ones, be around their support system, and still be able to earn a living, you know. And so, I really try to support and fortify those people in their business endeavors so that they can have both a business and a life that they love. Because that is possible. You can have both and be madly passionate about both, but it takes all of the tools and resources that are going to be brought to the table in the summit to really be implemented in order to achieve that dream.
Well said. Because I watch a lot of old black and white movies, and I love them, especially the pre-code. And thank you for sharing that. And I just lost my camera. All right, so there it is. Ta-da! It in it, and you look at that, and there's that drama, there's the passion, there's the building of the story, and that's what you're gonna share, Colleen, is that story of you. And we get this chance to listen to you, your story, and to share in that, and be part of that journey. I don't have to have Netflix. It's not something that I can participate in. I just get to rewind it. This is real time. You're not rewinding it. It's not on replay. I mean, it will be for VIPs and for the speakers, but you get to be in the moment. And where else can you do this but a summit? It's a larger workshop. This is going to be a longer day because we want to bring so many people to the stage. There's so many people, that speakers that are supporting this. But what a better community. The speakers get to engage with each other. This is a way to refer. So you get to build your community. You get to change your life will change from that as a speaker, because you're there connecting to a new group. And everybody here, just on this stage, get to connect and to meet one another. And this is the purpose of having a stage is that camaraderie, that group, that tribe of support that you can have. And if you get to go back to your home and find a safe, or your new home, and you're finding a safe place, that safe spot in the home, and maybe you can't go outside, you get to watch this, or there's ways to build a business. It's philanthropy at home. It's philanthropy from your house. You know, as a speaker, you get to change this. There's so much out there, and there's so many nonprofits. Who do I belong to? Who do I trust? Who do I know? Who's going to support me? And it's the longevity, and it's building the brand. And that's the hard thing, is whether it's your business or you're looking at a nonprofit, the best way and place to talk about something is to get with a group of people. And we're filming it. We're here today with these wonderful speakers talking about that, and the alignment and the change. And this is the stage. Each stage is built, and you can run your own summit. But each of these stages are built for an aligned community, because this way, with all the energy, with all the strength, and with all the foundation, you just see everybody's leveling up at the same time. You know, Tony Robbins is getting ready to do his this month, and he does it every year. He's done it every year since COVID. This is our chance to do that, and to change, you know, thousands, or two people, or however it works, but you feel so good doing it, and you know that you can trust one another, and you're building into this community, and giving back. And that's the importance of it. I'm going to put the information of confronting domestic violence in here, and know that survival isn't just the finish line. It's a foundation, and how can we overcome, and with what the wonderful story and of what Jeff had shared with his life. He gets a chance to share that, and I get to chance to be there. And don't you want to take part of that? That's why we all get into coaching or consulting, is because we want to be part of that change and the healing. And I love that you're sharing that, and you're not in that trauma, and you're sharing that passionate purpose. And I know that's taken a lot of work, but to watch people evolve into the change, and the blessing of what is in the community. So let me get some more questions here. I think it's just such a spiritual leadership change for us. And Samantha, with the work that you do, I'm going to bring you back up here. With the work that you're doing with people, how has it changed um, not only your life, but the people that you work with, the transformation that people go to your clients?
Hmm. So I would say first, like, just changing my life. It's such a heartfelt, like, fulfilling moment when I get to see the people that I work with move from this place of devastation, this place of feeling like they're spinning their wheels, or they're just burnt out and about to give up on their goals and their dreams, to then seeing them succeeding, opening their business, or hitting that next goal that they have for their personal life. And watching that transition take place for myself is completely healing, and knowing that I get to bring that to this world. And it's so amazing watching that. As far as, like, for the healing that happens with the person, I mean, it's really like kind of little bit of what you said. It's awakening to what's here, like what's around us. It's when we get to slow things down, and actually start to hear ourself again, and see, even helping them see kind of the patterns maybe that have been running in the background. And then being able to really then just transform that, where many times it's I love watching a person's, even in the nervous system, their body, their whole being start to learn what safety is, learn how to move out of those old survival loops, and start to soften, and then watching that life, like how life starts to feel more steady and clear.
Oh, wow.
And
Yes.
mm,
Yes. A new you, a new transformation. And what a great time to imprint that. It's the first quarter of a new year. great things are happening, whether you're looking at planet shifts and the changes that are happening. It's a one-time planet alignment with like Saturn, Uranus, and Pluto. They're all going to line up. And if we prepare right, it's the same alignment, if you're into that, that pretty much happened in 2020, but we're looking at it in a different space. And we're giving you tools for change and transformation if you're ready to step up to that and know that. And how does that succeed not only in your life, but how does that bring you to the success in your business? Because you're taking these tools of transformation, and we are now, that's why this is called the Great Awakening. Not only are we bringing tech online, but how do we work with that and stay stable and stay balanced and have a harmony? And that's what's so great about this event right now in the beginning of the year. Delana, how is it for you when you're, what is such a support system to be with a family and to give them the joy in that first part of life? You get to be there when this event happens. It's a great way to change, and you're helping so many people all at one time. What is it kind of like the experience that people get when they're doing this? Not everybody's going to do this, right?
Yes, my clients come from feeling mostly exhausted, overwhelmed, disconnected from their body. They move from chronic pain and fatigue to sustain their energy and mental clarity. They shift also emotional reactivity and overwhelm to calm, regulate, confidence. Also, they go from poor sleep and constant stress to deep rest and nervous system stability, so that they can deal better in their life with everything that's coming. They transition from self-doubt to self-doubt and loss from to of identity shift also. So most importantly, they learn how to work with their body and to embody what they're experiencing, so they can release all these negative emotions and reset their nervous system.
Oh, I love that, because from day one, you're setting that, you're grounding that, you're putting that into the atmosphere and starting that new life. And it's a great way to build community in a safe place with even what you shared in your life, with what you had gone through to be able to give this at in this moment. And this is how, as a creative, you can learn. I mean, if you're maybe in survivor mode and you're in a healthy, happy place, now you get the chance to think of, what kind of business can I get into? What kind of mindset should I get into to support not only myself but my family and be an entrepreneur? What can I do? So you just need to be a few steps ahead of everybody else that you're coaching or consulting with. And the other thing is that the journey that you went through, look at all the bad crap that maybe happened to you, and say, hey, I could have used this, or I could have used this tool or this person. Gives you the chance to be ingenuitive and invent something maybe that nobody else has, so you can stand out, shine, and be totally unique. And Jeff, absolutely. For you in the journey with what you've done and gone through, seeing the wealth in people, how do they feel through that transformation? Like, oh my gosh, now I can just live my life and be happy. I mean, I know it doesn't just end there, because we still are
Correct.
passionate beings. That moment where people start to realize that, hey, this is a different dimension almost that you're
Right.
living in now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I was taking some notes while, the other ladies were talking about the healing aspect of it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna approach this? But with that being said, the healing process is basically being able to open people up. And what do I mean by that? They're going from a cynical to a skeptical to a being open to getting information, because we all have failed at something at some point. And when we fail, do we stay down on the ground, or do we get back up and move forward? So, and I shared during the first couple of years of my journey switch, it was very, very difficult, because there was so much information, disinformation out there about this new paradigm shift. And I'm going to talk specifically about the blockchain technologies. And there was so much, negativity about it. Yeah. My very first, introduction to this whole paradigm, I lost 125,000. Okay. I was flat on my face, but I said, you know what? I have to get back up because there are so many success stories out there. And I was green back then, very, very green. Now I'm much smarter. And so it's a matter of taking those individuals who are that cynical and then get them to skeptical. Because once you're skeptical, at least you're open to getting information. Because if you don't have the information, how can you make an educated decision with regards to either staying where you're at or moving forward? And I assimilate this whole experience that I'm going through because being an ex-software engineer, I let people know this paradigm shift that we're in is, think about Microsoft, Apple, Netflix, and Amazon decades ago. They introduced their technologies and people are like, oh my gosh, this is like crazy. And, it was outlandish. But those people who saw the vision back then and jumped in on the ground floor, where are those companies today? They're industry giants. All right. And now we're at that same place, but with blockchain technologies. There's a lot of great technologies that are being developed on the blockchain itself. And there's great opportunity here. And for those that see it, will have massive, massive changes in their life, more so than decades ago with the other companies. And so it's about getting, that transformation of moving from that skeptical to cynical to being open. And then you make your own decision from there, because sometimes it's good for people and sometimes it's for people, sometimes it's not for people. But at least they got educated instead of listening to Mary Jane over here or Bob over there saying, oh, that's a scam, that's this, that's that. So that's the transformation that I love to see, because I have people from 4 years ago who have started to reach out back to me now saying, hey, the world's changed. We need to talk. So, which is very
Sure.
exciting.
Absolutely. And that's a journey I've seen too in this, is when I worked in virtual reality and I was working with some AI in the smaller companies that I worked in. That's where I started. And everybody's like, oh my God, I hate this. It's so scary. First of all, if you use the right platform and you go with somebody that actually can understand it and maybe
Right.
share and take the time with you, like Jeff will take the time with you on a call to walk through this. You get to see part of how simple it is. It's as easy on something like spatial.io to takes maybe 5 minutes, just as easy as it is to unmute and turn on your camera in Zoom. And you don't have to fully be an avatar. You can come on with your little human face showing and everything like that.
Right.
So there's a different engagement. But in virtual reality, that's where I did my first summit for confronting domestic violence. People got to come in anonymous and feel safe and secure, and we had already verified who was there, so people got to intermingle, and then watching them turn on their cameras. The great thing about this, though, is think of the Facebook in the past. Facebook gave us groups and then they took it away. Facebook brings cool tools and then they take it away, and then they exploit all your information and data. Wouldn't you rather be the one in control as a good human, be in control of that information and connect with people? That's what getting their email is about. That's what getting on their workflow is about. That's what the new technology. If you create a mind shift space, a transformative space, just like Devastated to Divine Alignment that's coming up tomorrow, 12 o'clock Eastern. When you have a space like this is virtual. Zoom is virtual. Our space is virtual. It's not to negate live events, but it's really a place where we can easily connect around the world. And this is technology. That's a virtual space. And then the next iteration of that is virtual reality. If you create a meditative space or you create a comfortable connection, a place for group, you can have that in there. It's up to you to put that intent and to sprinkle all the good juju in there. And Jeff, it's technology moving forward and it's easy to use. You don't have to have millions of dollars. You used to have $10,000 at least to buy virtual reality real estate, and most of those companies shut down. Now you have to get in for free and some of this. But, when you're investing financially, there's a little bit of skin in the game, but it's
Sure.
nothing like what you could do. And I was watching Tony Robbins earlier, and he was talking to Alex Hermosi, and they were talking about the investments that they make Tony Robbins, a billionaire, how many times over, couldn't invest in certain things. He was not part of the cool club. So when someone at that level talks about that, that's why we have these conversations. We need to talk about money. We need to talk about healthy financial investing, not just diversifying or having someone else do it, but understanding where that money goes and that you should be happy to pay your bill. Why? Because then you have your electricity on. Why are you not happy about that? When people complain about pay to play, you should be glad that you have a place to go that's aligned with you. And you, as a coach or consultant and entrepreneur, have to charge too. You have to run a business. And so, if we all reciprocate in this way and the money is moving in the right place, we get to be the top 1% and flip the script. So, let's take the 99 percent of us and flip the script and use the money, put the money out there. That's how we take over. It's money. It's all about money. And people talk about, oh, this is bad, that's bad. Follow the money. Well, how would you like to follow the money to good things? And it was Paul Rosalie that was on there, and he does Jungle Keepers. He couldn't save the forest without the money. He couldn't save the forest. How did he do it? He got on camera and he talked to a few podcasters. That's what we're doing right now, and that's what we're doing tomorrow. So, Colleen, for you on that, the shift that you're bringing here, and what you're going to be sharing starting tomorrow in this, because you do have experience in business. You're not that person that just came up and said, "Hey, I'm a CEO."
Yeah.
I couldn't be for a long time a CEO of my own throne in my bathroom. Yeah, that was a big, right? I had to be the boss of me. That's a hard mental state to get through, that if I fire myself, I got to pay my own unemployment, right? Who's going to pay me if I'm my own boss? That was kind of scary. So when you look at this mentality and what you're bringing, and with the story that you have, and you bring this full view, 360 view of changing people, and I know that you're out there all the time with conversations that you've had or we've had together with other people, that you're giving them the support and they come back to you, and it's not just about business.
Right. It's actually not about business. It never started for me being about business. It was about finding a purpose and having a purpose that would sustain me in midlife. And so for me, the giving back is helping other women and other entrepreneurs find their purpose and really helping them to understand that they truly can build a business based on what they're passionate about. And that actually, those are the most successful businesses. If you don't like flipping burgers, you probably shouldn't open a burger joint. Right? So that's kind of, and then back on the CEO thing, I actually hired myself. Fun story. I'll keep it short, but I hired myself because I had an employee quit one time and she was on the schedule for the next day. So I talked to my CPA and I'm like, put me on the schedule. I'll hire myself. I was the worst employee. Was the worst employee. I got up in the morning and I pulled my phone up and looked at the cameras to see if the store was open. I was like, well, it doesn't look like it's open from the outside. So I switched the cameras to inside. I'm like, doesn't look like it's open from the inside. Who the heck is on schedule? Pull up the schedule. I'm like, well, crap, it's me. And I live 30 minutes from town and we're supposed to be open in 10 minutes. So I just barreled in there, and one of my other employees met me at the door with a cherry Coke and said, good luck. I think you're going to need help today. That day, I climbed up on a ladder that I didn't open all the way. And it fell, and I fell on glass and sliced the bottom of my foot open. And note to self, I suck as an employee. I fired myself. I'm like, yeah, no business being an employee. So back to being COO, I went, and definitely it's a better place. But really, I think the hesitancy is that, number one, a lot of people are starting over, whether that's due to trauma or disconnect, violence, or just, maybe they're not having to stay tied to a job they didn't like. Maybe they stayed tied to it because they had family obligations and things like that. And now they're like, you know what? I can live on less. I want to take a chance on me And so I really want to help these people build their confidence in their ability to do that. And so by creating a back office that runs smoothly for them, where they really can just show up and shine in the parts of their business that they love, it builds a more successful business and a more successful life, one that they can love both of those things and they really can just do good and flourish in that without the burden, the burnout, the overwhelm, the anxiety, all the things they dreaded to start with. And so I really want to share that message with people and then help them to do that.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for being here and participating in this event. And for those of you who watched it, I know my LinkedIn's not connecting and there's other people that are having issues too, but that's why we're on 3 platforms total. And then I collaborate with the speakers, and share that stream, not only so we can go out on other platforms, but so that we can go out at all. So we're not totally getting suppressed in our minds and in our stories. But this is a great way to be the change, be part of the change, is to get on the camera, rock the mic. This is what it's all about. So tomorrow will be about leading, building, and living fully aligned. And so you could stop reacting to everything. You can start directing your own life. You can stop waiting for the clarity and you can start creating it, and you can stop fighting your circumstances and start forging your destinies. So this is what we're here to do, is really change the world, and that's what we're doing, one podcast at a time. So thank you for being here. I love this, and I love meeting with you guys and hearing your stories. I'm such a fly on the wall. I get to be part of it. Thank you. All right, guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. We'll see you tomorrow on the Voice Lab, 10 a.m. Eastern. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.